Hello, I am Dr. Renee Penalver, and I am a professor in psychology at Coe College. I would be doing this in front of you today if it weren't for the current pandemic, so I was asked to do it online, and I'm very excited. I want to talk a little bit about my area of expertise. I am a psychologist and I study cognitive psychology, so I study how people process information like language and memory and attention. But today I'm going to be talking with you about social media. Now, I am not an expert on social media, however, I do use social media and have for the majority of my life. Social media was already a really big deal by the time I was in my teen years, and so I've become pretty familiar with the different methods of social media. So today we're going to talk about what even is social media, what can we do on social media, how did social media start? Who uses social media? What are the implications of having social media? And what might social media look like in the next decade? So, what is social media? Social media is a way for us to stay connected to others, friends, family, colleagues, no matter how far you are physically. This has been really good for me. When I was in graduate school, I was 1,000 miles away from my family. And then when I got my job at Coe, 2,000 miles away from my family. And so I have used social media every day since graduate school to connect with my family and my friends in California. It is a way for people to receive information about the news, global pandemics, global disasters, and more simply, friends and family's life updates. It is a way to view pictures from the past, share pictures. It's a way for us to store our own pictures on social media. It's a way to view others' pictures. For example, maybe you have your own grandchildren who live 1,000 miles away from you, but you're able to see their pictures every day. In essence, social media is a way for us to be there without having to physically be there. And again, I want to stress the importance of this given the current COVID-19 situation. We are using social media for just about everything, even to go to work. So, what are some of the things that we can do on social media? Some of the things we can do now have changed over the last 10 years. So, what can we do now? What have we always been able to do? We can share life updates and we can share pictures. Those have pretty much been the case since 2003 when MySpace started. But what can we do now? So we can share life updates, so we can tell people when we've moved, when we've gotten married, when we've switched jobs, when we've moved, or when we're traveling abroad. We can share videos from our videos and pictures from these trips that we take. It's also a way that people get their news regularly. So people can share news articles, and this was especially important thinking about politics, thinking about the 2016 election where there was a lot of false information that was spread on Facebook. You can video chat in real time with an individual or with small or large groups. You can privately message individuals or you can message small or large groups. You can sell your personal belongings or services on Facebook through advertisements or groups. You don't even have to be friends with the people to do this. You can find jobs through social media, and you can even find dates on social media. That is a common method of how people find their partners in more recent times. So, how did social media start? It started when I was in high school, so again, I've lived the majority of my life with having social media at my fingertips. And it started with MySpace. So MySpace was a platform where you could share pictures, life updates, and put a little bit of information about you. So you could share your favorite music, your favorite books, and you could tell people who your top 8 friends were. Shortly thereafter, Facebook was created in 2004, and MySpace pretty much became obsolete. once Facebook was created. I'm not even quite sure that I think MySpace is just kind of there online right now for historical purposes. You can find your old MySpace if you have it, but many of them, because users have not logged in for over a decade or longer, many of the MySpaces have been deleted. Facebook was created by a Harvard student who did not graduate in 2004, so a year after MySpace was created. And Facebook was originally for college students only, and then you had to have an @edu address, and then it blew up. And so the majority of millennials and older use Facebook as their medium to connect on social media. In Facebook, you can do anything. You can post status updates, pictures, videos, share videos. You can get information. You can sell goods and services. You can even find a partner. There's a new Facebook dating kind of app within Facebook. And shortly after that, I would say in the 2010s, there was this explosion of different types of social medias, mediums that were created. So you have probably heard of Twitter. Twitter is something that people about 20, 21 and younger use pretty regularly. They do not have Facebooks, or if they do not use them regularly. Twitter is a platform where you can only post, you can post pictures, you can post videos, but when you post word content, it's very, very short. It's limited. Instagram is a picture and video sharing application, social media application, so you can share your pictures and social and other forms of videos, and that is pretty commonly used among millennial age, so about 30, 35 and younger. Snapchat is a very, very popular app for sharing pictures that go away. So you can only see them for so long. You can see them for up to 10 seconds, either pictures or videos. And this is a really common way that college students now are connecting and messaging with each other. When I teach at Co, I notice that my students don't text; they just snap they snap each other. TikTok is a new app. It has exploded in the last 6 months. It is an app where very young people, share videos. There is YouTube where you can watch videos, upload your own videos. There's Tinder where you can find a partner, and you can set your location, your age, and who you want to date. And then there's LinkedIn. It's a professional social media app, so you can find jobs and connect with other like-minded professional colleagues in your area. So who uses social media? I was talking a little bit about how different age groups use different forms of social media. So like I mentioned, MySpace is now an obsolete form of social media. Facebook is obsolete to people younger than, I would say, 25. Many of them, if they do have them, they're not uploading regularly. So Facebook is a social media app where I would say millennials and above are using. Many young people are using Twitter, and the young youth are using TikTok to communicate. So what are the implications of having social media? Sites like Facebook, specifically Facebook, have gotten into a lot of trouble in the legal world. They have sold our information and our data to conservative political campaigns. You have probably heard of the Cambridge Analytica scandal that happened here for the 2016 election. This actually happened worldwide in different countries. We see this in the UK, some groups in Africa, where conservative groups purchase data from individuals from Facebook. So some of that data would be stuff you've posted about. So what's your favorite color? What are things that you post about? What are news articles you share? And Cambridge Analytica bought all of this information and shared it with political campaigns. They've also gotten in trouble for what we call, or what's been called, fake news. So letting people share information that is not true. And this isn't just on Facebook, but Facebook, I would say, has been at the forefront of these scandals. This has been on every social media platform. When you think about how many people have social media and you can share anything without it being regulated, you're going to have false information being shared. And so this has gotten us to think more about being careful with the information we post. There are so many posts about TikTokers posting something and then their employers finding out and then them getting fired. So you must be careful with the information that you share on social media. You never want to share things like talking bad about your employer or telling people that you're not home because there are just bad things that can happen. Social media is such a wonderful thing, but when you think about all the wonderful things, there are some equally bad negative things that can happen with the different things that you can post on social media. So what will social media look like in the next decade? I want to give a funny story about my niece. She's 3 years old, and she knows how to use TikTok, Facebook. She can video chat me on her own. So she was born into an age where social media is essential. She's known how to use it since birth, and so that is really interesting when you think about the changes that she will see over her lifetime in social media. On the flip side, my grandmother, who's in her 70s, also uses social media. She'll call us via video chat or share news articles, and it's been a really great way for her to connect with her friends from high school and her friends from growing up and her family members. So it is a terrific way to connect. So with that being said, thinking about my 3-year-old niece, social media will be an expectation. The faster, the better. That's going to be the expectation. It's going to be quicker than ever before. When social media started in 2003, you couldn't access it on your phones. That is something that has changed over time. I can access it in a second on my phone through apps. I kept mentioning through that in my talk, and that's something that's tremendously changed over the years. We have very easy access to social media, and it's going to be augmented reality and virtual reality will be very important for social media in the next decade. So what do I mean by that? That'll mean if you want to go shopping, you can try on the clothes through your social media app. So you can put a picture of yourself and put those clothes on you in the app, so augmented and virtual reality, to see if you like them. You can go places without physically going. So social media is already doing this. Like there was a 3D scan of King Tut's tomb, and you can go in and see everything. I mean, Monterey Bay does this with their aquarium. You can go into different places and you can see different places without having to physically be there. That is going to explode. There's going to be less work to access information on social media, to post information, and to share information. It's going to become more political, given that our data has been breached. Our personal data is more likely to be regulated. So social media overall is likely to be regulated over the next 10 years. More people are going to use social media. So every day, about 1 million people every day join some kind of social media group. And we will see this continue to increase in the next decade. There's going to be more social e-commerce. So that means that there's going to be lots more selling and buying online and learning about products through videos. So in the future, people are not going to want to see words or read as much. They're going to want to see more pictures and videos. And that's what the future of social media is going to look like. I wish I had more time to talk to you. I would love to chat more about different social media methods and mediums, but I'm about out of time. If you would like to talk further, my email is r, and then my last name, Penalver, RPENAL, V as in Victor, ER, @co.edu. And thanks so much for having me. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you learned a little bit more about social media. Thank you.